Good evening, everybody. It's Best5Zach. We've got our March edition of Mystery Tackle Box in the mail today. Now, you'll notice that I haven't looked at it yet, haven't opened it up. I thought we would do the same thing we did last month, and that is to open it up and get some honest first impressions. As we've talked about in my blog, the banner on it says that this is an honest account of one of life's most frustrating hobbies. And one of the things that we've seen in the past is that we can get into tackle clubs, and many times we get gimmicks or we get lures that are very specialized or hard to come by, and even if you love them, you may not know where to get them. Well, not only does Mystery Tackle Box do a great job of finding good vendors, but they have been able, through the internet age, to give us the opportunity to go buy more of these products. So tonight what we're going to do is the same thing we did last month. We're going to open up this box, which hadn't been opened yet. We're going to look at these baits, but I'm going to do you one better. What we're going to do is we're going to bring in my 8-year-old daughter, who has kind of been a favorite on my blog and the different videos, and we're going to let her tell you what she thinks about those baits. So let's get started. Alright, well, we've got Aubrey holding the camera for us, so you got an 8-year-old doing the camera work, and we're going to open up this box and we're going to see what we've got. I'm going to try not to cut myself as we open it up. And I tell you what's really funny is that I was on Facebook today, and you know, I use Facebook a lot, as you guys know. Best5Zach's easy to find. But you know, I'm seeing all these pallets that Mystery Tackle Box is loading up, and I kept thinking to myself, oh, just a couple more days until Mystery Tackle Box sends out their month's supply. Well, the funny thing is, apparently they'd already sent it out because mine was waiting on me when we got back to the house. Alright, so we're going to open it up here. You know, as always, it's, you know, presentation is half the fun. So we're going to open up and see what we got from Mystery Tackle Box. We have a Yozuri rattle bait called the Sashimi Rattle and Vibe. And of course, I'm a big sushi fan, and so is Aubrey. So when I see sashimi, it makes me immediately hungry. Whip 'em baits. Looks like a soft stick bait of some sort. We're getting some commentary back there from the Peanut Gallery. Big Bite Baits, a good company. Let's see here. Another kind of stick bait. Very, very odd bait here that they've sent us. Real thin tail with kind of a really thick, high density. I'll get back to that. We've got some Strike King KVD Perfect Plastic swim baits. Of course, everybody knows I'm a big swim bait fan. You got to be if you're going to fish out here on Gunner's Hill. Let's see here. We got some hooks. They always send us some terminal tackle. And of course, we've got the cards to give to your friends to get them a $5 Mystery Tackle Box, which I keep a couple in my wallet to give out to all my friends or people that I meet in a gas station, which I'm very fortunate to be able to do that all the time. And of course, we've got our scratch off card. In fact, I've got one from last month where I won some money. I still haven't redeemed it yet. I really need to do that. Our free sticker that we get. And of course we get some promotional data, you know, different baits that we can find and get a good deal on. And then of course at the very bottom we've got our About Your Box, which is going to be a color card that gives us some info about all the different baits that we received with our Mystery Tackle Box. So with that being said, now we're going to let Aubrey tell us what she thinks about these baits. Okay, Aubrey, we've got our first bait. What do you have there?
I have a squirrel tail bait.
Squirrel tail worm? Who's it made by?
Big Bite Bait.
All right, well, look at it and tell me what you think of it.
It has lots of different sparkles, I can see that, but look how long the tails are and look how skinny they are, and at the end they look like they have a rattlesnake in.
That is true. Now, why do you think they make it that way?
So, when it goes in the water, it might move up and down so the fish would notice it, and the sparkles, the fish would probably see all the sparkles in it. It would probably be shining in the water, so they would notice it.
Very good idea. All right, good job. All right, let's see what we got next. Okay, what do you got there, Aubrey? What's next?
I've got a Sashimi Rattle and Vibe.
All right, and who makes it?
Yozuri.
Okay, and show us what it is. Now, what kind of bait is that?
lipless bait.
That's right. It's a lipless crankbait or a rattle bait. All right. So tell us what you think about it. Tell us about the color. What are your first impressions of it?
It's gold. I can see that.
Mm-hmm. Now, why do you think it's gold?
The gold would reflect in the water.
Mm-hmm. Now, they call that matching the hatch. And what do you think that means by match the hatch? Do you have any idea?
Oh, no.
No, what that means is that they make the bait to look like the typical baits in the water that the bass would be eating. So hold it up and show us. So it's a gold bait, kind of a shiner kind of color, and it's supposed to look like those minnows. Now, is it really loud? Shake it. Yeah, pretty loud, huh? How many rattles do you think that thing has in it?
About 10.
Probably 10. That's actually probably a pretty good guess. Now, have you ever seen me throw baits like that?
A couple of times.
Yeah, and it's a good profile that I like. Show it to us. It's kind of thick, so it's not real thin like typical rattle traps. The Lewis rattle traps. It's kind of thicker and has a larger profile, and it's got really that lifelike to it, that lifelike paint job on it. Pretty good bait there. Now, on Gunnersville, do you know how we use that, Aubrey?
Well, no.
No. Well, I like to throw it in the grass, and we do what's called yo-yo. We jerk it out of the water. We want to feel it. We want to feel it hit the grass, and then we jerk. You remember yesterday? What were we telling Griffin to do while we were fishing?
Well, you were fishing, and then he was using a spinner,
A spoon.
and in the way you taught him, this might be funny to you guys, but he said, you said, real, real, real pop.
Yeah, right. Over and over and over again, right? Real, real pop. And that's what you do with that bait. Hold it up. That's what you do. You reel, 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 and then you pop it. Jerk it up as soon as it hits that grass. So we've got the Yo-Zuri Sashimi Rattling Vibe. Another good bait. Okay, Aubrey, what's next?
We've got a stick bait.
Mm-hmm. Who's it made by?
Whip 'em baits.
Okay, now how would you fish that?
Wacky head.
Wacky head? What else would you do? Would you do it like on a shaky head too?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah? Maybe even weightless? Would you throw it weightless?
Maybe.
Maybe. All right. Well, hold it up for us and show it to us. All right. Now, is it soft? Tell me if it's soft. Is it soft?
It's very soft.
Yeah? Now, why do you think the fish would like a soft bait?
It would feel real to them, so they wouldn't spit it back out.
Well, that's pretty important, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah? Now, tell me about the color.
It's very dark green and has very thick sparkles.
Okay. Now, what else do you notice about that bait? Anything else that you notice about that bait?
It's lined.
Yeah? Again, that's probably one of the things that make it feel realistic.
Because if they eat a worm, it usually has wine. It usually has lines on it,
Mm-hmm.
and it would feel like a real worm,
Mm-hmm.
except for the dark color.
Yeah. Now, it's a nice thick bait, isn't it, too? It's pretty thick. And if it's thick, do you think it falls fast in the water, or do you think it goes slow?
Goes slow.
Yeah, that's exactly right. If you make it thick, it's nice and buoyant, so it has a nice, slow fall. All right, now show us that thing again. Show it. So it's flip it around. Let's see the name. All right, Whip 'em baits. Okay, keep moving right along. Okay, Aubrey, hold us up the next bait. What do we have there? What is that?
We have got a swim bait,
Okay, who's it made by?
Strike King.
Strike King. And who's that on the cover there?
Kevin Van Dam.
Yeah, that's right. Everybody knows him, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, now tell us about swim baits. Why do you use swim baits?
You use them because they swim, and most of all, they look like minnows, which fish eat usually.
That's right. That's one of their primary sources of forage. Now, tell me about that color. Why do you think they selected that color to send to us?
It's white, and the water is blackish greenish, so it would show up.
Yeah, and it looks like a real minnow, right?
Yeah.
Is it nice and you think it's nice and soft? Squeeze it there and see if it's nice and soft.
I think it's soft.
Now, what kind of rig does Daddy use that we use swim baits on? We were using it yesterday.
Alabama rig.
That's right. Now, you need a lot of swim baits for that Alabama rig, don't you? Sure do. So we need a good, affordable swim bait to use on that Alabama rig. Do you think that Strike King is a good, affordable bait?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a pretty good bait. It's very affordable, which is one of the reasons that we like it. Okay, Aubrey, well, what did you think about this month's tackle box? It had a pretty wide range of baits in it, didn't it?
Yes, it did.
Okay, now, which ones were your favorites, or did you like them all?
I think I like the,
Which ones do you like?
I think I like the swim bait better than
Yeah, it's hard to beat a swim bait, because you know what? If they're not willing to bite anything else all day, they'll bite a swim bait if you throw it. Okay, Aubrey, we'll tell everybody buying. Where is our website at?
Zach, Best5Zach.
All right, well, we'll see you next time on Best5Zach.
Well, that's straight from the mouth of babes, folks. You know, one of the things that I've really struggled with the last couple of months is that I'm watching on Gunnersville in particular these guys that show up never having fished the lake before, and they're absolutely stroking the fish. In fact, the bigger tournaments from this last weekend were won by guys that had never been on the lake before. And it made me think, you know, how many times do we go into fishing with preconceived notions on how the lake works, or even how baits are supposed to work, and why do we select baits the way we do? Is it because we caught a fish here and there, and therefore there must be more there? Or how about those baits? You know, we caught a fish here and there with that bait, so it must be a good bait. Or maybe we caught a fish throwing the bait a certain way. Well, you know, I know that this is kind of a gimmicky thing to bring in a little girl and to look all cute on the camera, but it really does offer us some good insight into these baits. You know, what would a kid do with them? What makes sense to them? You know, these kids go to Bass Pro and they go to different places and they see the minnows and they see the fish and they see how they act, and then you put some baits in front of them, and you know, we keep telling them to match the hatch, or how is it that the bait's supposed to look like you know, the natural forage in the water. And these kids can tell you exactly what they think with no preconceived notions on how it's supposed to work, which gives us vital insight into maybe what we've been missing all along. Instead of reading in newspapers or reading in magazines what we're supposed to be doing, or getting on the internet and seeing what other people are doing, which may or may not be true, may be pure advertisement, if we can hear what they say and apply it, simple, basic fundamentals of fishing, I think that we can greatly enhance our skills. So that's going to wrap it up for this month's edition of Mystery Tackle Box. So we'll see you next time on Best5Zach.